Hi, this is Rabbi Tzvi Mandel of Kabnei Yisrael, Zabar Zelzitz, congregation, community of Jewish friends. Long time no see. Sorry. So this is Friday, Erev Shabbos, Kodesh Parshas, Eikev. I want to tell you a bomb story. So the story goes as follows. The Triska Maggid would say over the story. Triska Maggid, as you all know, was a son of Ramat L'Chanabla. Ramat L'Chanabla was the son of the Morei Naim, Reb Nachman Chanabla, who was a student of the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh. And from Chernobyl today we have some of the most beautiful Chassidishe, just getting bigger and bigger. Skver, Achim Estrivka, and many others. So the Reb Nachman Chanabla, the one who wrote Morei Naim, after he passed away, would come back to this world to learn with his son, Reb Matal Chanabla, as was told of it to the Triska Maggid, his son. And it was a daily thing. His father would come from the Olam Elyon, from the higher worlds, to study with him. And then he stopped. And one day, he came again to learn with him. So after they finished learning, Ramat Chanabla asked his father, how come all of a sudden you started coming again? So he answered him that in the higher worlds today is a very special day. And they asked that all the Yidden that were involved with doing chesed to other Yidden in a very special way, in a mysterious nefesh way, helping others, whether spiritually or emotionally or begashmias in a mundane way, or anyone involved in pinyin shvuyim, taking Jews out of jail that were put in captivity for no other reason besides that they were Yidden, which was something that he was very involved in, the Ramat Chanabla. All these Yidden in Gan Eden were asked or told to go back to this world because Rabbi Yeshua Elazar passed away today. Who's Rabbi Yeshua Elazar? So of the many stories about Rabbi Yeshua Elazar, this is one of the stories about him. Rabbi Yeshua Elazar was a very big Talmid Chacham, a big Lam, big Torah scholar, also a very rich man, and he was a businessman. And one day he went to a market of some kind, or what do they call it today? Some kind of a business place where a lot of people are doing business, and there were a number of other Jews there. And all of a sudden, one Yid is standing there and he's bawling, crying, and all the Yidden went over to him, of course, like brothers, and said, what's wrong? What's wrong? Can we help you? And he said, how could you help me if I came here with 600 gold pieces, which was a lot of money, and I had it in a wallet of some kind, and now it's lost. And I wouldn't even care so much if it was only my money, but only a third of it was my money. Another third was other people's, other Jewish people, business people. And the other third of it, even worse than that, was money that belonged to business women, almanis, widows, who had a lot of money. And I offered them to do business for them, and that way we would all gain, and now it's lost. Rabbi Yeshua Elazar was standing there, and he heard this story from this guy, and his heart and his neshama was ripped to pieces. And he says to him, Reb Yid, could you tell me exactly how much money it was, and how your wallet looked? Because I happen to have found a wallet today with X amount of money, and if you would give me the simanim, according to the halacha, according to Jewish law, one who finds something could return it only if it has the exact simanim, the exact signs on it as to how it looked like and how much the amount of money that was in there and blah, blah, blah. And he ran back to his hotel and he says, yes, that's the wallet. I found the exact one. It was those colors and it was that amount of money. And he asked him how the bills were put in there in a certain way, and he told him exactly 500s and 300s, and comes back with the full amount. The guy was elated, obviously, very happy. But another Yid comes running and says, wait a minute, this is his money. The truth is, I found it. And I saw so much money that I couldn't hold back from stealing it. My evil inclination said, look, why don't you take it for yourself? And as I was debating what to do, this whole thing happened. So I'm not so bad that two people should lose their money because of me, so I'm returning the money now. So the guy who lost the money, he said to Rabbi Yeshua Lazar, here, take your money. And he said, I'm not taking back my money. I did such an unbelievable mitzvah. I'm not taking back my money. Sayyidina Matanas Yechya. Great King Solomon, the wisest of the wise, said, one who hates to take presents will live a long life. He won't owe anything to anybody. I'm not taking back this money. And they went to Rabbi Baditsheva, and whatever he paskin, whatever he said to do, I don't know, but that Rosh Hashanah, before the blowing of the shofar, when God starts judging the world, and the Jewish people specifically, he raised his eyes to Hashem and said, Hashem, you remember that in Torah? Remember that case that we had with Rabbi Yeshua Lazar and the other person? Is there another nation in the world that has such people as their members of their nation? And in heaven that year, the Jewish people had a big schus, a big merit, all because of this Rabbi Yeshua Lazar. So it's for that reason why I'm back down on this earth, so to say, why my neshama came back today with all the other people from Avram Avinu, from Abraham, till today, that were big on helping others and pidyon shvuim. And since I'm already here, I ask special permission to come and study with you, and that's why I'm here today. So the Parshas Eikev. Parshas Eikev starts with Hashem saying, "V'hoya," and it will be Eikev Tishmun. When you will listen to all the things that I have told you, and there'll be special blessings that Hashem promises us. And the Holy HaChaim says to us, V'hoya means, whenever it says V'hoya, and it will be, it stands for joy. So V'hoya Eikev Tishmun. The only time a person could really be utmost joyful is at the end of his life, when he knows he did everything the way Hashem wanted. To all order. But there's another interpretation there, HaChaim. B'kudei Hashem Yesharim Esamcha Leiv, King David says in Tehillim, Psalms 19. The laws of Hashem are straight. They make the heart joyous. So it says, V'hoya. The reward for Eikev, basic HaTorah, for studying the Torah, this itself gives joy. And for this reason, one mitzvah brings another mitzvah, because char mitzvah, mitzvah. From the studying of the Torah itself, one becomes joyous. So in other words, one has to be joyous to first study the Torah, to appreciate Hashem's Torah, and the more we study, the more joyous we are. just want to add one thing. Sharem, straight. Hashem's laws are straight, and that gives us a simcha. The true and the truth of the Torah and the truth of our hearts, if it's untainted, yes, if some part of it is still innocent, they connect together. They connect. Yisharim, straightness. Another thing that this hints to, the HaChaim HaKadosh tells us. The Zohar says in the third volume, 313, Les chedvus akam ekutchabrichu geshaita d'Yisrael mishtadl b'dayraisa. There's no joy in front of the Holy One, blessed be, in front of Hashem, like the time that Jewish people tried to study the Dayraisa, the Torah. They study and they try their best, everyone according to his neshama. One, it might just mean aleph-based. Another one might mean the deepest depth of Kabbalah. Every Jew that tries, according to his neshama, to study the Torah, gives God endless simcha, endless joy. And when he is joyous, says the HaChaim HaKadosh, Kol ha'olam b'simcha, the whole world is joyous. Simcha v'sasim. Unbelievable. We'll go a little bit further. Hashem says he'll give us Eretz Yisrael. And it's not because of your righteousness, how great you are, but because of the ugliness of the people that lived there till now, the horrible nations that were on a very low spiritual level by worshiping idols and doing the worst of sins on the lowest level. And your coming to Eretz Yisrael, says the HaChaim HaKadosh, is because I promised your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and it's on the condition that you keep the Torah and you do what Hashem wants and keep His present to you, clean with mitzvahs and doing God's will. Then it will be with you forever and ever. This is a condition. Doesn't mean if you don't, that I'm not going to give you the present. I'll give it to you. And the present will stay with you. But this is what I want, Hashem says to us. Another part in this week's Parsha, so much here, is we're going to read about the second Parsha in Shema, V'hayim Shema Tishmu. And it will be, if you will hear, it says here 2 times, Shema Tishmu. V'hayim means Lashon Simcha, again, means joy. And Hashem says, I will give you a heart to hear. Shemaya. You will have the joy in hearing, and then you will hear. Right? One has to have a cheshik, a chukka, and a will, and enjoy what he's hearing. And this is a special present from Hashem to us. V'hayim Shemaya, Tishmu, and then you will hear. And Whoever is careful in the mitzvah of mezuzah, it says at the end of the second part of Shema L'man Yirbu Yimechem. You should write a mezuzah on your doorpost. And HaChaim asks, why does it say that after the verse of Uchsavtam that you should write the mezuzah L'man Yirbu Yimechem in order that you have long life? It should say it before. And he says, because the Torah wants to teach us that whoever is careful with the mitzvah of mezuzah, Hashem gives him long life. This is in Tractate Shabbos 32. So that not only this verse goes for all the mitzvahs that it says in V'haya and Shemai, but it also goes for mezuzah. I mixed it up. The reason why it says Man Yiru after Uchsavtem, because really it goes on the whole paragraph of V'haya, the second paragraph of Shema. But it also goes on mezuzah. That's why it says it after mezuzah. So have a great, great Shabbos, and we'll be seeing you Gesundheit.